The Widows lost their last game to the Sirens, being shut out 3-0 and falling to 11-10 on the season. In this game, they really struggled to hit the ball against a great Sirens pitching staff and made a few mental errors that cost them down the stretch. The biggest one coming in the bottom of the 7th when Crush Gonzalez failed to score on a ball hit directly back to the pitcher. That was a situation where she should have stayed on third because after Pontarelli, Chloe Nightingale singled into center. Our Widows tried to make up for it in their half of the 9th as Crush Gonzalez singled into center, then stole second with 1 out. Rose Davenport walked to bring up Carla Pontarelli, who loaded the bases singling into left. Chloe Nightingale is the winning run after falling behind 0-2. She ends up grounding into the 3-6-1 double play to end the game. The Widows organization makes a big sign with just 3 games left in the regular season. They signed former Reaper right fielder Raven Chaos to a $20.6 million deal, replacing right fielder Sally Toma. Some have questioned the move, given Chaos' age at 34, and Jennifer Marks played well this season, especially at the plate, batting .274 with 2 home runs and 9 RBIs. She's worked herself from the number 8 spot in the lineup all the way up to number 2. So why make the move, most analysts are asking? Well, manager Clara Soriano said in the press conference announcing Chaos' signing that if we want to make the playoffs, we need to do everything we can to help the team win. Raven has the ability to hit well and has a great arm. It's always good to have depth as well, and Jennifer knows even she could use a day off at times. The 33-year-old Marks and 34-year-old Chaos will have to get comfortable with their new roles respectively. This game in the desert is a big one between the Widows and Pythons because there's a 4-way tie for first as the Battlehawks, Monarchs, Pythons, and Widows are all 11-10. Last time these teams met, the Widows shut them out 6-0. Vika Ivanova gets the start for the Widows while the Pythons start Nova Pena. Both are making their 6th starts of the season. Raven gets inserted immediately into the starting right fielder spot for this game, replacing Jennifer Marks, and Carla Pontarelli gets the day off as Kanye Jin comes in behind the plate. Nova Pena's first inning went extremely well. Yao Ling faces her first and she pops out to Lamar Cannon in center field for the first out. Raven Chaos makes her first at-bat as a Widow and she grounds out to Pena on the mound for out number 2. Finally, she gets Lilith Nightingale to strike out looking at the first 2 pitches, then checking her swing on the final one for the final out of the top of the first. Vika's half of the first is just as good as her counterpart. She starts getting Kensley Contreras to ground out to first as Rose Davenport makes a great diving stab to keep the ball in the infield. Next, she faces Draco O'Toole, and he rolls over on the inside fastball to De La Cruz at second for out number 2. Lamar Cannon is the 3rd batter of the inning, and he lifts the fly ball into right. Raven Chaos ranges over and makes the catch for the final out. The scoring starts in the top of the 4th. 2 outs, and Crush Gonzalez steps up with a single in her first at-bat. She's been on fire lately. She hammers the 1-0 into left center, and it's gone! Her 4th home run of the year ties it for the team lead in the category, and gives the Widows the 1-0 lead. Lamar Cannon leads off the bottom of the 4th for the Pythons. Vika throws him an inside pitch and he demolishes it into the seats in right center. 467 feet, it's his 2nd home run of the year, tying the game at 1. In the bottom of the 5th, with runners on the corners, Lamar Cannon is up again. The first pitch of the at-bat gets away from Jin behind the plate. The throw comes back, but it's not in time as Tank Pearson scores to give the Pythons a lead 2-1. Cannon grounds out to first as Rose flashes the leather again, taking away a single and possible run for the Pythons to end the inning. Bottom of the 6th with runners on first and second for the Pythons. Tank Pearson steps in with a single on the day already. He hits the 0-1 into left. It's hooking, but it just barely stays fair and rolls to the wall. Gonzalez gets the throw in quickly, but the RBI from Pearson extends the lead 3-1. After that, even though this day is over as Jackie Brooks comes in out of the bullpen. She ends up getting the pitcher Pena to ground out to third and end the inning. Widows still trail by 2 heading into the 7th. Top of the 7th with 1 out on, Kanye Jin hits a hard ground ball into center for a single. Chloe Nightingale comes behind her and also reaches safely as the ground ball is too deep in the hole at short for Turner to make the throw. This brings up Fatima de la Cruz as the go-ahead run already with a double. She grounds into the 4-6-3 double play, and the Widows are held scoreless in their half of the 7th. Kensley Contreras starts the Python half of the 7th, singling into center as De La Cruz can't make the diving play in time. Brooks faces Draco O'Toole next and sits him down, swinging through the changeup for out number 1. Next is Lamar Cannon, and he reaches with a single on a hard hit ball into right that also moves Contreras up to third. This brings up the dangerous Barry Bombs, who's hitless on the day so far. Bombs drives in the runner on third with the base hit into left, making it 4-1 Pythons. Izzy Peralta digs in already with 2 singles in her 3 at-bats. She reaches on a fielder's choice as the ground ball to third gets the force out as Chloe steps on the bag for out number 2. It's Diane Danger's turn, and she struggles in RBI spots, but she gets one here as the soft grounder is placed well enough to get into center. Ling's throw home is a bit late as the lead is now 4 for the Pythons, 5-1. The hits keep coming as Daisy Turner singles into center, and the third run of the inning comes across to make it 6-1 Pythons heading into the 8th. Let's go top 9 now, and Nova Pena still on the mound going for a complete game. She starts facing Lilith Nightingale and gets her chasing the 3-2 curveball for out number 1. That's Nightingale's second strikeout of the game. Pena won't get to complete the game as the Pythons bring in closer Scarlett Webb to face Crush Gonzalez. Gonzalez grounds out to Danger at second for the second out, so the final chance is for Rose Davenport. Davenport hits the ball into the hole at second. Great diving play by Danger, and the throw is in time to end the game. Widows lose their second in a row, 6-1 to the Pythons. 3 stars in this one are Nova Pena, Crush Gonzalez, and Lamar Cannon. The loss moves the Widows into 4th place in the Valiant at 11-11, while the Pythons and Monarchs are tied for first. Both have 12-10 records. These last 2 games are critical for each of these teams if they hope to make the playoffs, because it's a tight race here in the Valiant. Next up for the Widows is a final meeting with the Dragons. They split the series to begin the season and will face Hitomi Joe on the mound, and Audrey Messier will get the start for the Widows. With 2 games to go in the regular season against the Dragons and Tigers, our Widows will need to make sure they win at least one of them, I think, to guarantee a playoff spot. And alright you guys, that's gonna do it for me for the video. I had the full game video audio recorded. I went and listened to it back and it sounded really jarbled, so obviously I couldn't use it. So we're getting a highlight version of the game today. Monday though, hoping to be a full game. And I'm actually hoping to get back into the swing of things with this week here, kind of my videos today and then tomorrow, you know, regular week. Anyway, you guys, thank you all so much for listening and watching. I hope you all had a great New Year's. Welcome to 2021, first video of the year. Looking forward to continuing to improve and get a lot better as these things go on. Yes, so before you go, do me a favor. Like, share, comment, and if you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. It helps me continue to grow and to get better on the platform as well. Lets me know you guys are liking the content that I'm doing as well. So, with all that being said, you guys know what to do. Follow me on Twitter as well. I always forget to throw that in there. And keep on shining and keep on grinding. I will see you all in the next one.